Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Singapore Pokken. This is our 71st weekly. We've got some exciting matches lined up, and this is going to be top 4, and we're starting off with winners finals. We've got two familiar players here tonight. We've got Naymie on player 1 side, Vanny on player 2 side. Both of them have met in top 4 of our weeklies very often, and it looks like it's gonna be another meeting of these two great players once more. Vanny running Charizard as per usual, probably with the Rotom support, and Naymie for once starting out with Suicune instead of her usual Sceptile. Now this is a character counter pick. Zard does not have a particularly good time going in against well-played Suicune, but as we've seen before, the character isn't the only thing that determines the match, as Vanny has won against Naymie's Suicune several times, but as of right now, looks like Vanny is fighting her way out of the corner, and they've shifted in a pretty short part of the arena, so the wall's not too far. Vanny going for an odd seismic toss there. That's broken. The Fire Punch gets outlasted. Vanny takes a calculated risk and does a Fire Punch to get out of that Fergadium mix-up. And now she's gonna have to deal with Naymie, Suicune in burst mode, and this combo is probably gonna close it out. That's the first round, easily gone over to Naymie. The reason that Suicune does so well against Charizard is the numerous powerful anti-air options that Suicune possesses. And against a character like Zard who likes to attack from the air, you can see how it's not a very comfortable place that Zard wants to be in. But so far, Vanny has this Oki and takes advantage of it, resets back to field. And Naymie tried to press a button there, but gets tagged by the fireball. Naymie just slowly backing off. Good answer to the counter attack. That Fire Punch gets outlasted again by the counter attack. Fire Punch is a fixed length, you can't charge it. So, up against a charged counter attack, it usually loses. And so far, the lives are pretty equal, and Vanny going for Seismic Toss a little bit early. Gets punished for that. Naymie just backing off, avoiding this burst attack. Catches her on the landing. Bursts in her face. Adding some chip damage for the pressure. Vanny preemptively calls Rotom. Launches her into the air. It's gonna be a decent amount of damage, but with 15 seconds left on the clock. Vanny goes for a charge, CA, and Naymie presses buttons into it. One round apiece. Vanny now sidewalking around the little water projectiles, manages to get in. She has the corner. And gets whiff punished by the cross under. Naymie playing a bit danger close with Suicune, which is not the range you normally see, but it worked out pretty well for her on that field phase. Calls Fergadier for a little bit of space and just goes to use it to push it back. Catches her with the beam. And Vanny flying over all those projectiles. And lands the Seismic Toss. This is gonna go into burst attack and it's gonna be a huge chunk of damage. If that doesn't kill, Naymie is going to be very close to death. It looks like she survives with a little bit of health left. But she doesn't have a whole lot to work with. Manages to counter the projectile. Vanny preemptively calls Rotom again. She has to watch out. Naymie has burst. And burst attack hold there. And counters the Flare Blitz. Just jumps in the air. This is last touch territory for both players. They can easily turn this around. And Naymie comes out on top with quick little laser. That's gonna be the first round. Going over to the Suicune player. So in Field Phase, when you've got projectiles flying at you, one of the really powerful options that you can use that new players may not constantly think about is actually just sidewalking around them. If you hold left or right while doing your homing, you will go around the most linear projectiles. And you can see these players making use of that. And try to get around each other in Field Phase, like right there. But of course, if you're too close, you won't be able to walk around it in time. Naymie's gone over to Eevee for this first round. And for the attack buff, but so far it hasn't really been working out for her. I'm back on field. Vanny just waiting, gliding in the air. A whiff punishes the full charge CA, and now she's got Oki, and that's gonna lead into a seismic toss. Naymie wants to back, activates burst attack. Yeah, from that distance, Vanny can't really do much if the air laser is going up. A little bit too far away to get close enough to punish in time, so Naymie can just keep sniping out of the air at her leisure, but not from that distance because you're gonna get whiff punish with 2x. And a little game of chicken with full charge CAs. Vanny comes out on top. Naymie going right in with a CA, gets outlasted unfortunately. Goes for the follow-up, knocks Vanny out of the grab. That's the laser. Oh, that was missing by the barest of hairs. Unfortunately, Naymie backed off too far. Now she's in the corner. Tried to force her way out. Vanny let the CA rip and gets another wall splat into a seismic toss. Naymie doesn't have a whole lot of health to work with now, and she's back down on resources. All the resources are on Vanny's side of the court. And with that, that's going to be the clean second round. Charizard, powerful options, and the command grab easily can turn situations around with just 3 or 4 successful reads. It's not a character to be underestimated. If Vanny manages to get in, Naymie might struggle a little bit more. That's not to say Suicune doesn't have options for close-up, but definitely it's gonna make her life a little bit more painful. But hey, you gotta do what you need to do to win, don't you? So into the third round, 1 game apiece. Counter attack, going through the fireball. Pushing Vanny into the corner from this Field Phase, of Vanny attacks Naymie with the fire punch. Walking her into the corner. And that dive kick, crossing up. Goes for the big bait. And just barely any health left. The CA outlasts. That's gonna be first round going to Vanny. Going in for round 2. Now a little bit of left and right movement, sizing each other out. Naymie going for a little grab there. A little bit too far, but the CA catches. Fire punches through the geyser. And now this is gonna be the wall Oki. This is gonna be so dangerous to deal with. She dropped the shield. CA forces the way out of the corner and gets the whiff punish on the dive kick. Naymie calling Eevee, heals back a little bit of Grey Life. And it's attack buff now. And there was a nice little bit of bait. Crushes the CA. And punishes the fire punch this time. Good dash back into counter. Oh no, she left the ground. So this is gonna scale a little bit because of Rotom, but not by too much. But I think Vanny dropped the combo there, unfortunately. So Naymie manages to capitalize off of it, and now we've got a round apiece. Catches Vanny out of the air, So many of Suicune's options just anti-air so well. Oh, Glide Stance with Punish. Naymie doesn't want to take this corner Oki anymore, immediately goes for the burst attack. Vanny is in the air, she's going to be able to avoid it. And gets attacked by another 2x. This is going to be the wall combo with Rotom. Dive kick into the loops, into another wall splat. We're going to be going back to field. And Naymie's burst. A little bit of time left on the clock. Blizzard's a little bit high, and Vanny manages to avoid it, goes under and punishes. Goes to Eevee. Goes to anti-air and whiffs that time. Fire Punch is going to whiff punish, and this is going to be the wall. One more Oki. Naymie's onto the tricks this time, doesn't take the grab Oki. Vanny's activating Burst, and this is going to be a really bad situation for Naymie. The anti-airs aren't going to work nearly as well. And Naymie going to the air, going for the dive kick. Vanny has an easy whiff punish with the burst attack. And now Vanny is sitting at 1 more point away from moving on into Grands. So if you're just tuning in, this is Singapore Pokken Weekly 71. It's a weekly netplay tournament run from the Singapore Pokken Discord. We run this every week on Saturday nights. 9 PM, around 9 PM at GMT +8. Although it's a Singapore Weekly, we usually get a lot of visitors from international scenes, and as is tradition, we've got Naymie and VannyStar from the US and the UK respectively, duking it out in winners finals, as is the case. Naymie's gone back to her main, Sceptile. I guess she feels like the main character might provide a little bit more advantage over the character counter pick. She is 2 rounds down, so why not go for it? So anyway, they're more or less equal in life. Bit of a batting roll call there. Vanny was a little bit too high, could easily avoid it, but gets caught on the CADC forward. Doesn't have a whole lot of life to work with now. Vanny has a lot of great life, but okay, there it is. There's a good chunk of it gone. Naymie activates Burst, and now this is one-touch territory for both characters. Easily can be ended very quickly. Vanny immediately bursts on seeing the command grab. Doesn't want to take the mix-up. And Naymie is going to go underneath the dive kick from that. And just backing way into the corner. She doesn't want to make any unnecessary moves against this, and I think I agree with that. Immediately causing Moga to keep Vanny honest on the ground. That's a nice little bit of CDC movement to go through those attacks, and this is going to be a launch. That was a decent amount of damage. Now she has a life advantage, and that's going to take that round. There's very little time left. Vanny had to make something happen, and her aggressiveness got punished. Should have detect. Oh, that was a crazy field phase movement from both these players. Dropping down the seeds, going for the Oki, catches out the air. Decent chunk of damage. Oh, good dash back to whiff punish the fire punch again. This round is going very well for Naymie, but that's gonna be a decent amount of damage from Vanny opening her up. Dive kick Oki, Naymie doesn't want to take it. Immediately causing Moga. Vanny's a bit too high again, and that call was gonna get punished. Vanny preemptively calls Rotom again. And unfortunately, that was a full charge dive kick. Sceptile's burst attack is indeed a counter. It will get pierced. Now, the characters in last touch territory, they're looking for it, but Vanny coming out the victor, coming down on top of the straps. It was very close though. Now we're in the final round. Just throwing some projectiles out. Dive kick Oki. The shield's turning awfully red. The flare blitz. And shifting right to the corner. Naymie anti-airing. Tricky little CADC movement. Step back to the field. Sidesteps around it. A little bit too late to punish that. Just move it around. Dive kick's gonna catch. Vanny's just walking her back into the corner. That's gonna be a decent start. Vanny does have a defense down. So just gotta watch herself for a bit. Still, Vanny has all the resources right now. She's got a full burst meter. She's got Rotom at ready. Naymie's just about coming up to her burst. But she might not get a chance to use it. And that's probably going to be a wrap, unfortunately. It's over so quickly once that big old beefy command grab lands. So Vanny gets the better of Naymie this round. Vanny moving on to Grand Finals and sending Naymie down to losers once more. Better luck next time, Naymie.